What is happening, guys? Welcome to Game Week 22 preview. I'm just going to jump right in with a guest. You guys know him. He's been here quite a few times. It's James Tongan-Loftus. How's it going, buddy?
Hey man, yeah, good. I'm an old face around these parts now, like the local in the pub who sits in the corner and is angry at everyone whenever they take a seat.
I mean, you
That's
could have
me.
just stopped at "I'm an old face" and you could just left it at that.
I
You've
could
just
have
got
done,
that. You've
yeah.
got that wise, like, I've been here for 60 years. Tell me what you want me to tell you. I know it all, kind of thing.
I'm
That's
starting
what.
to. You
Sorry,
see,
go
I'm
on.
starting to get crow's feet a little bit.
What the hell is a crow? Oh yeah, no, I get it now. I get it now.
I am an old face. I'm weathering like an old football.
Ace Adventure, thanks very much for following. If you're new here, my name's FPL Dave, and I do streams and talk about FPL. Last year I had a banger. This year I'm having a shiter. James does average, I think, most of the time. You're quite average. You're pretty good.
What do you mean, in terms of my season history or week by
Yeah,
week?
I've never actually looked at your
Well,
season. I just assume you're just a really smooth jazz talking kind of guy. I've never actually like looked at
I
it.
don't want to be. I don't want to be the guy who's always talking about his rank. But last season, I was 2.5k overall. So
Oh
I've
wow! Well,
I've got
at
some.
one point or ever, like at
No,
the
no,
end
no.
of the
That was
season
the end. That was my rank by the end of the season.
last year.
I was, yeah, I
Oh
was
wow!
top 5k, mate. I've got
Oh
some
wow!
pedigree.
I didn't know that. Oh well, there we go. He's actually pretty good.
You see, it's
Um,
like, and usually if you go and speak to the old guy who sits in the corner of your pub, he'll have a really interesting story to tell you as well. Like maybe he was once in the Navy or something
yeah,
like
they're
that.
usually lying about being in the war.
That's it,
That's how it
exactly,
works.
yeah.
FPL Tips is here. He's saying that he's doing a stream with Wildcats, though he can't stay. Jimmy said he couldn't stay. A lot of people coming in just to say, all right, guys, how's it going? But we can't stay for long. We're just saying hello. And,
See
like,
you later.
this is really nice of them. For everyone who's here and staying here, hello. We're going to be talking about Game Week 22. We've got captaincy questions. Always the same shit, isn't it? Captaincy questions. Who are we bringing in? What are we doing with Liverpool? And you've got a bunch of questions that people are asking you on your Twitter, right?
Yeah, well, you basically summed up the sentiment of tonight's questions, which is mostly regarding Liverpool. But yeah, there's a few on here that are slightly more off the wall. So
Lucas David says, I thought you were a fraud too. He's not going to lie. And Marcus Better says, great to see your beautiful faces again. So he obviously hasn't, he skipped the part about you showing everyone your feet on your face.
my horrible crow's feet. Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, crow's feet. That's
FPL
awesome.
tips. He is lying to you, Dave. Tips, mate. Just have a look at my season history.
Oh, he doesn't
By
want to
all
be that
means,
guy.
be my guest. Be my guest.
Wait, did you
It's an
beat me?
open door.
Did you beat me last season?
Probably.
Did you actually? I'm going to be raging.
I beat 99.8% of players, Dave,
Oh,
so you were
that's-
probably included in that.
You say you don't want to be that guy, right? But you are absolutely that guy. Hold on, I can check.
I love being that
I can
guy.
check in front of everyone.
Yeah, have a look.
I'm going to.
Enjoy it. Read it and weep.
Wow,
Don't
you
look,
did fucking
don't look
beat
at my
me.
last game week, please.
Okay, sorry. You could, you did beat me last season. Wow, I had a banger. I've gotten on big podcasts because of my finish, and you're sitting here and you've done way better. That's so good.
You mean the Fantasy Weekly podcast that
Yeah,
we
or
co-host
I
together?
can't remember what it's called, but yeah.
I just want to point out that my old season history, just ignore that. Those were my kind of post-grad days where I was boozing too much and I was focused on weird stuff like careers and girlfriends and not on the things that I should have been, like who I'm going to triple captain.
Everyone's first couple of seasons were like someone's invited them to the mini league for numbers purposes, and yeah, you made a team and just didn't play it. Like that's exactly what I did.
It's annoying though. I'm not saying that I would be Hall of Fame material, far from it yet. But what I am saying is that it's annoying that they factor in your entire season history because I only really started taking it seriously 2 seasons ago, and look what happened.
Yeah, exactly. 33k and a 2k finish. That's not bad, man. That's not bad.
So,
all right, you can stay. It's okay. That's awesome. Liam's asking how our Christmases and New Year's were. I think he was talking to me, but I want to know a little bit before we start. Like, this stream is supposed to be a nice chilled out end of week. We know what we're doing, kind of. We'll answer questions, but we're also gonna chat and have a laugh. It's time to be serious, like Sunday, Monday. That's like serious time, right? That's like, oh my god, the prices are going up. We need to know exactly what we're doing right now. And then now, going forward, like Thursday, Friday, it's like, yeah, let's just have a drink and chill out. So how was your Christmas and New Year's, my good man?
Yeah, it's fine. Nice. I basically did I just drank this stuff. Oh, hang on. Let me. There you
Stella
go.
Artois. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Do you guys call that a wife beater as well? The wife beater drink as well.
Yes, that is the well. That was kind of like the late '90s,
Knew
early
it.
2000s reputation. Things have moved on since then.
Right. Okay.
Now it's known as just a shite premium lager like all the others.
That was the last
Um,
time I drank that. 2009.
yeah,
Dead.
yeah. So I spent a lot of time drinking Stellas, and I watched the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special, which I think we can all
Disappointing.
agree was great. And yeah, what did you not watch it, Dave?
I know. I watched that. I didn't like it that much.
Really?
Yeah, no. We can talk about that. We can go into that way
I was
later.
gonna say.
FPL
Yeah.
merch. Welcome to the big fat sexy team, buddy. And Lucky Luke as well. So merch.
And Greyheart as well joined
Greyheart,
earlier. I don't know if you gave him a
it.
shout out, but
Oh,
I've now
Greyheart.
got the stream up. So yeah,
Yeah,
we know
sweet.
Greyheart. He's a big fan of the Fantasy Weekly. So great guy. How was your Christmas, Dave?
My Christmas was great. But to link this in, listen, this is how good I am at this, right? For my first ever Christmas gift this year was actually FPL merch, who messaged me on Twitter saying, "Hey mate, I've heard that you like a drink. I've got a bunch of don't FPL and drink mugs. Do you want one?"
Oh,
And I was like, "Fuck yeah, send me a mug. That would be amazing." People
hashtag
sending me
sponsored.
shit. I know, right? So, I mean, I don't know about that at all, but I do know that I like drinking and I like free shit. And he's like, "Yes, I'll send you one." Although I got out of work and I went to the post office because I was on holiday for like 2 weeks. I was up in the Great White North. Actually, that's Canada, isn't it? Just the north. Yeah, the Wildlings area. I went up to Glencoe for a week and I was away the week before and stuff. So I hadn't actually gotten back till recently, and then I've been working in shits, right? So I didn't get a chance to go to the post office, so I don't have it. I know it's there. I know the mug's there.
Oh, so you haven't actually tried it. You haven't had a beverage.
No, I haven't. It should be here. This is what I wish I was telling you guys. Like, oh, look at this mug. This is awesome. But I haven't got it yet. So that's like.
Oh man, FPL merch is on here saying, "Do I have to pay for this sort of promo?" The answer is no, because actually there is no promo. It's a hypothetical mug.
There's nothing. But it's tantalizing the audience for next week. You know, like, what's his mug gonna look like?
You've hit the big time, Dave.
I know.
Getting merch for it.
People. I told my girlfriend, she was like, "Oh, awesome! So how much are you getting?" And I was like, "I'm not getting. It's just as a mug." And she was like, "Right, well, I don't care."
FPL merch. If you're watching still, I'm actually short on a few televisions. So if you've got anything branded, then Norwich, 34 Grove Road, just send it around, mate. That's fine.
Do not tell. You've just said your address on stream.
It's my mum and dad's. It's fine.
All right, cool. As long as they die and you don't.
The SWAT van's going to come round any minute now, aren't they?
You'll get DDoSed. That's what's going to happen. Oh, wow. See, FPL Tips has it. He's written it down and everything. You're fucked, mate. You're fucked. Right. So, no, my Christmas was great. I didn't do much except for like family stuff. I had 3 Christmas dinners. It was mental. And then
3. Is that like a family politics situation there?
Kind of. So my mum and my brothers, that was the Christmas Eve, and then my girlfriend's sisters when we had actual Christmas dinner, and then we all go round to her mum's. The whole family, the whole family go round to her mum's, and it's like a big fuck off, like 30 people kind of thing. And they do another Christmas thing, and it's really, really good. But like afterwards, you just want to like die slowly in your own house. And I couldn't. I've went like straight to Glencoe for a week for the New Year's, and then you're just drinking and eating shite more. So like I've gotten back, and I'm just detoxing. Like this is the first drink I've had since Friday.
Oh.
Which is mental. So like,
what have you gone for? What drink is that there? This is stout.
This is Jim Beam Devil's Cup.
With Coke?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was me thinking
Classic.
It might be something.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't drink anything but spirits.
Right, yeah, fair enough.
If there's nothing else, I'll have a Corona. But yeah, no.
Okay.
So that was so it's been fun, but I haven't done anything like FPL wise at all. Like I just chose to just fuck it, I'll leave it. And I remember having a drunken stupor. I was like, oh shit, I need to change my captain to Vardy, and then he fucking didn't play, so it didn't matter anyway. And then I had vice captain on KDB, and he kind of blanked and stuff. So I didn't actually do very well over the the Christmas period. I think I went down by like 100k and up 100k. I'm at 1.3 million still, and I've been there for like 5 weeks or some shit. So
Yeah, so you basically came out the same.
yeah, it didn't do anything. What about you? How did your FPL shit go?
Badly, yeah, really badly. You saw a little glimpse of my team earlier. That was one of my better game weeks, and it was still below average.
Right.
I was, yeah. I mean, if it had been the start of the season, I probably would have been in the kind of bottom million. I reckon I had a really bad Christmas period, but
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know. There's something weird about fixture congestion because you just care less, don't you, about having a bad game week. You don't have to stew on it for a week. You stew on it for a day.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so
that's
it's
true.
just, I don't know, like they don't feel like real game weeks. I know they are, but they don't feel like, I don't treat them as seriously as I do other game weeks in the
Yeah.
rest of the year.
Unless it's the last game week, in which case you've got to stew on it for fucking 12 days or some shit.
That's just totally ridiculous thing to say, though, isn't it? Because it defies all logic. Like every
Yeah.
game
No,
week
I
is as
get it
valuable
though.
as each other. But it's same
I
with
get it.
midweek ones. Midweek one, I'm just like, fuck it, let's have a bit of fun.
But the
You know.
mental game is definitely part of it. Sometimes I'm like, oh fuck's sake, I'm so raging. I should have done so good if I only had captained him over him. And then over the Christmas, I was like, I don't care. I've got like M&M peanuts over here. Like that, I care way more about them right now than I do that. I didn't captain Ings.
Yeah,
And we'll get
yeah.
to him. We'll get to him very shortly. So I wrote a little article, and it's for my new series, the FPL FAQ. And so, like, I'm on it this week. I'm like, you could throw me a topic, and I'll know the answer. Like, we both had shit weeks, and we both had shit Christmases. So it's awesome that we've got 30 people sit and listen to us talk like absolute nonsense, right? But I have genuinely done my homework. So what do you want to talk about first? You go for it. Do you want to
Well,
do we can do your questions or whatever. It's up to you.
I think we do need to talk about Liverpool because I know that I mean even in the article that you wrote, you reference the fact that everyone's talking about Liverpool, but it is something that
Yeah.
we're still getting questions about. Liam Healy, double Liverpool defence or double Liverpool attack. Greyheart, who's of course watching, hopefully stuck around, would love to
Mm.
hear both of your thoughts on the possibility of owning both Mane and Salah. Um, Colm has asked about Liverpool as well. Mo Mane TAA, Mane TAA Robbo. I
Fucking
mean,
hell.
mate,
People are going nuts. People
it's
are
almost
absolutely
like
losing their
it's
shit.
almost like they've got a double game week coming up
I
or
know.
something.
So does West
Bizarre.
Ham, but no one cares about those. No, I think like Liverpool are playing amazing, and this is their first like double game week in since I've started playing properly. So like they didn't have one last year. I don't think they had one the year before. They're just like it's like oh my god, the stars are aligning. So everyone needs to jump on them and soon. But everyone's worried like should we get two midfielders or two defenders and what kind of array of Liverpool people should I get? But to be honest, it's just like whatever you can get, just get it. If you're gonna be ripping your team up to shreds, then it's probably not worth it because the amount of time you take a hit is gonna your game week's gonna suffer anyway. I think the real question is should we triple captain or not? Because they're
Well,
both away.
I would just to come to your first point. I do think that there is some merit in debating these things because I think unlike whereas usually in a double game week you're only investing in a player or team for that particular game week. We all remember Brighton last season. A lot of people bought in triple Brighton or captain Shane Duffy or whatever, and they were doing that just for that game week,
Yeah.
right? And then they wanted to get rid of them. The difference is in this instance, of course, is that people bringing in Mane and Salah, even if that means desecrating their team a little bit, might well want to keep that pairing for the rest of the season, and that
Yeah.
would not be a terrible idea. So I do think there is a discussion to be had when it comes to which three Liverpool players do we want, because I think most people are of the opinion that they will keep those three Liverpool players indefinitely. In which case, it may be all right. You might do well in a double game week if you have double Liverpool defence and just one of Mane and Salah. But over the next 10 game weeks after that, is that still going to be the best decision? I think Mane and Salah is the way to go, and I personally think it might be worth making sacrifices elsewhere in your team in order to get those two in.
I mean, you're definitely right with the fixtures. They from game week 24 onwards, the next 10 fixtures, as people can see on the screen just now, even including you because you've got the stream up. You lucky
I do.
dog.
It's great.
I know it's been going well. They've got the double game week, which is Wolves and West Ham, and then they've got Southampton, Norwich, West Ham again at home this time, Watford, Bournemouth, like those are
It's a
amazing
dream.
fixtures.
It's an
It's the
absolute
dream.
dream, yeah. Until you get to Man City in 32, but even that Man City game is, we've seen. There's one thing we know about Man City. It's that they are not the clean sheet juggernauts that they were last season. So, I think even that's got goals in it for the likes of Mane and Salah. You actually look at these and you think, okay, Norwich away, Bournemouth at home. These are teams that are capable of scoring goals. Norwich scored in a reverse fixture the first game of the season for Liverpool.
Yeah, Pookie's
I,
start.
I do think this is kind of reinforcing the idea that actually maybe double Liverpool defence is not a long-term viable option, even with these great fixtures. I still worry, Southampton. That means Danny Ings. They're gonna have to face Danny Ings, and Danny Ings, as we've already learned, scores in every single game. So if I had double Liverpool defence, I might look at those fixtures and just be a little bit concerned. Everton tend to score against Liverpool as well.
I think my problem with that analysis, like it's perfectly viable, and you sounded so professional when you're doing it, and I'm so proud of you, right? But think about this, right? Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robbo are 14.5 million if you add them together.
Yeah.
So for just 2 million more than Salah, you could get two amazing players that are also very attacking. Do you know what I mean? Like and it's not just they're very attacking for defenders. Like they are doing better than most midfielders for assists. And like I think just before Sterling's second goal, not this game week, but the game week before, just before he scored that, Trent Alexander-Arnold had more attacking returns than him. And now they're on level pegging, I think, or maybe just one in it. Like that's fucking mental for 7.5 million. So you could do a whole lot more than spending 25 million on the two midfielders. However, they are the best midfielders in the game right now, and there isn't very many other premiums that you really want to go for right now. Like I can't think of a single. Kane's dead. Aubameyang's,
I didn't hear about that.
Kane's dead until at least April.
Oh my god.
I don't know how to say your name. NY Smicky. Smicky. Yes, I did it. Welcome to the big fucking fat sexy team, my man. I appreciate that
pronunciation.
Thank you. NY New York Smicky. That's what it is. Because I was gonna say Nice Smicky, and I keep trying to pronounce because people put their like initials in names, but there's no punctuation, so I'm screwed. Anyway, Manny. Yeah. What was I saying? Kane's dead. Aubameyang's like iffy because he's now playing on the wing again, and blah blah blah. And we're not 100% sure how Arteta's playing him, although he has been slowly ticking through. So he's a possibility. Aguero and Jesus are still rotating like nobody's business, and that's really annoying to say the least. Sterling is too expensive for his output, so he's only good until game week 24. And I have him, and I've been happy with him. He was a drunk Dave purchase. He scored 2 goals in 2 game weeks. He only played 90 minutes, so I'm happy with him. Who else? What other expensive players are there?
Well, yeah, I know what you said. Yeah, there aren't many, especially ones that you would actually want.
Yeah.
I think even you having Sterling is, you're the anomaly there. Most people have moved off Sterling at this point. Definitely. So, I think for me the thing is, and I totally hear what you're saying about how cheap, these Liverpool defenders are. The first thing that I should say is that I've been on double Liverpool defence for a large portion of this season.
Yeah, but who did you have?
It's been awful. I had VVD and Trent.
Yeah, see if you had Robbo, it would be a completely different story.
Yeah, but I mean, points-wise, are they that far apart? I think VVD's had his weeks where he's banged. He scored that brace, didn't he, in one of the...
I don't know. 92 points, and I think he's got 98 points.
Okay, so...
Yeah, I guess it's just those those one tiny point where like he had 17. But yeah, no, they're both pretty good. Anyway,
but the point I was going to make is that I don't necessarily know that having Mane and Salah in your midfield really comes at a huge price, because let's look at the other positions on the field. Well, as we've already said, who are the expensive strikers who are performing at the moment?
Yeah.
You look at the informed strikers and you think of Jimenez, Ings. You don't think of Kane and Aubameyang, and although Aubameyang's been great, you don't think of Abraham. Rashford's been okay, but he's kind of tailed off a little bit in the last few weeks. So I feel like it's easy to make the sacrifice to bring in the Liverpool midfield double up. I don't feel like you're really losing out too much there. If Kane was really firing, or if there was another big premium in the conversation, I think the decision would be a lot harder, and I'd be a lot more Team Dave when it comes to that double Liverpool defence.
Oh,
But given you go,
I'm going with Salah and Mane,
you are okay.
but I could go the other way and I would be absolutely happy with it. I think the reason why I want Salah is because I fucking hate when he scores and I'm sitting here without him and my rank just fucking tanks. I hate that shit. I think having both of them is a bigger differential because a lot of people will be just basically there's more choices for defense, so therefore there's more diversity and therefore people were going to pick it more. So statistically there's going to be more people with double defense than double attack, especially considering how expensive it is. I'm 100% confident in that statistical analysis there that I did on the spot.
That's a very dubious.
But think about it, because there's Gomez, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Robertson, and VVD. Whereas midfield, you're only ever going to get Mane.
What about Wijnaldum? What about Wijnaldum and
people aren't
Milner
going to get them though. They're like,
yeah, but no one's going to buy Gomez, are they?
I'm 100% confident that is that he's going to be extremely well bought. I'm telling you, because he's so cheap and people just want, like, even if they just get a tiny piece of the action, 5.2 million.
Double up.
What? Okay, you've looked at the. I was going to say, guess what his ownership is, but it's only 26% or 2.6%. Like, it's not that much. But there has been chatter about it.
It will increase before the double game week. You can put money on that. And I think you're right. Actually, is if you want a cheap way in, you are probably right. I don't want to disagree with you here because I love the idea that Salah and Mane might be a differential. Like I think they will be. That's incredibly exciting. But I think amongst active managers, I'm talking the kind of Twitter, Reddit community here. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be the template.
I think so too. I think it's just too good to be true, the fixtures. But like I think that they're going to come out as similar numbers. I reckon that a Trent, Robbo, Mane combination is probably going to get the same amount of points as an Alexander Arnold, Mane, Salah combo. I can't see them being so far, unless Salah or Mane goes absolutely mental. I think that there's a higher ceiling for them, but consistently you get 8 or 9 points with the other two if they do actually have an attacking return. Like they get more points and they get more bonus, and anytime any of them do anything, they get a bonus point. It's mental. Whereas Salah is notorious for not getting any bonus despite scoring the only goal, etc. So,
how do you feel about them being away fixtures?
Yeah, the only thing that means is that if I was going to captain one of them, it'd be Mane, right? I think I did a little bit of snooping, and it's 4 goals, 3 assists for Mane, and 1 goal, 3 assists for Salah. So if I was going to captain one of them, I'd be captaining a midfielder because it's higher ceiling, and I'd be captaining Mane because it's away. But I think they're like, I forget who it was that said it. It might have been Match of the Day, but someone said, you know what, Liverpool play like a horse. You know, it's only going to jump as high as it needs to, and they only really perform as well as they need to win the game, to save energy for the next game. And I think that's the way Klopp's been doing it this year, so that he can maintain the same level of fitness throughout the season. Because last season they kind of dropped off a little bit, and that was the whole point. And then the title race and blah 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 blah. Everyone knows that anyway. Daffs, thank you very much for the host, buddy. I see he's been trying to get my attention. He said your quality is so high, my phone gives me a black screen. You're watching a stream on your phone. I can't. My stream is fine. Everyone else is fine.
Do you mean quality of image or quality of chat?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because sometimes our chat is so good that it does break devices. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the chat. I don't remember what I was going to say, but it probably wasn't important. FPL merch has Robbo plus Rash plus Sar, or Salah plus Traore plus Lundstrom. Okay, Robbo.
It's got to be the latter, hasn't it? Yeah. Salah and Traore and Lundstrom all day long.
I think so. Lundstrom could outscore Sar. Traore can outscore Rash, and so
any either or predicament that has Lundstrom in one of them is the one that's going to win. Because Lundstrom is just essential. Yeah.
Salah has missed a lot of away minutes, says FPL Tips. That's something we gotta remember. He hasn't really He didn't play that much, so good on you. Tips for jumping
Yeah.
on. Daft, you should come
Yeah.
to my stream. It's so low quality, you should be fine. Quality of image. Colm says it'll jump you up 500k if it comes off the Mane Salah thing. Yeah, no, I think it's just a good. And what's best for my team is up on the screen just now. Like it's one transfer. It's just Sterling to Salah. There's no extra
it's
things.
easy for you, isn't it?
I'm gonna be. I've got 2 game weeks to do it. I think I'm just gonna drop Abraham to Calvert-Lewin, and then I've got X amount of money to spend, and I'll move Sterling up to Salah for game week 24, and then I've got like 1 and a bit million to maybe punt on an Everton defender or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but you don't really need to punt on one because Holgate's 4.4 million. Where did he come from? I've checked his minutes. He's been playing 90 minutes like since game week 8 or some shit. I guess it's just because Everton's fixtures have changed, or maybe they've got new managers, so people are paying more attention to their clean sheets. Did you know he was about? Did you know he was existing?
I just can't get over the fact that El Neni is somehow still in your team. I'm sorry, I can't get past that.
Mate, he's just. I have not once.
Don't use your he's the most consistent player in my squad line because I've heard it too many fucking times.
He is absolutely no, but the main thing is, see if I had 10 men at any point in the last 21 game weeks, then I probably would have maybe considered taking him out, but I just don't need him. So he's doing better than every one of your third benchers because he's cheaper than them.
Traore is my third bench.
Why is he your third bench? Mate, he should be starting every
No, he's
game.
he's not my third bench, but he's my 5th midfielder.
Oh, right, I see. No, I'm
a baller.
No, he's at the end. He just watches from where does he watch from? He watches from Besiktas. That's where he watches.
Oh, is he not even in England?
No, that's the whole point. He's not. His price isn't going to change.
Oh, I thought he was still playing for Arsenal. I assumed he was just injured.
No, he's just absolutely like.
He's
and it's the same as Woodman. He's gone. So therefore the prices can't change.
What would happen if you tried to bring in? If you tried to bring in 3 Arsenal players now, would it stop you, or
it would stop you.
So you haven't exploited that weird loophole?
No, but I've seen that where you do it on your phone and then you do it on your you do it online and you can bring in 4 players. But I think they fixed that like right away.
I saw that Andy did it, didn't he, with the Man U?
I think he was messing about with it. But
yeah.
I want to straight in and say that I'm pretty sure that Andy was just doing it as a laugh and didn't actually confirm it. But anyway,
surely they weren't lies.
No. All right, let me have a look at the chat. Fantasy says Richarlison or Maddison and Rashford and third Liverpool defense. 2 Salah's third Liverpool. What? Okay, hold on.
This is the most confused. This is like algebra.
Fantasy, help out. Right, give it Richarlison or Maddison. Right, let's just do that one. That seems easy. Right, Richarlison or Maddison. It's Maddison, right? If he's not injured, he's got better fixtures. Yeah. Well, not better fixtures, but he's just got a better team, better quality. I was listening to who got the assists. Tom's last ever podcast before he returns in March. Him and his girlfriend. I think she's girlfriend.
People saying it's his last ever pod. It's not, is it?
It's not his last ever pod. No, he's coming back in. No, he's coming back. Yeah, he's coming back in March, I think.
Oh wait, what's the date today? Yeah, okay, fine. We've got a bit of time.
Solo Super. Thank you very much for having a very easy name to read. Welcome to this fat, sexy team. We do have a 4.3 playing mid now, says Marcus Petter. Nutella Nino. Thank you very much for following, buddy. I appreciate that. Yeah, sorry, Richarlison or Maddison. Richarlison, in Who Got the Assists podcast, his last ever for 2 months. I think it was Stag, who, by the way, I really like. He's really good with the stats and stuff. So I was worried, maybe Tom's going away, but he seems like Stag seems to have his shit down. And I love the Irish accent. I can't get enough of it. So it was really, really good listening to that. I would really recommend it because they go through all the new manager teams. So Everton, West Ham, Watford, Arsenal, and just picking out the best based on stats and eye tests and all that stuff. And they both him and Tom, I think Nick was a little bit I don't know if he mentioned it, but they both hate Richarlison. They both said that he doesn't fit in Ancelotti's kind of thing, and all the stuff, all the good attacking stuff wasn't coming from him. And now that Calvert-Lewin's like up front, definitely, and almost playing alongside Keane if there is a second striker, and not Richarlison. Richarlison's playing as like a, an old school winger now. It doesn't seem like he's that big of a pick. The only reason that we're looking at him is because he's the most expensive one. So, what do you think of that? Have you got any input on Everton at the moment?
I think that those guys have probably done a lot more research than us.
I know. We just fucking.
So I'm going to take your regurgitated
Yeah.
opinion there and regurgitate it again. It's like a weird, you know how like birds will feed their young their own puke. That's how I feel at the moment.
You can't do that on stream because people will just people will just put a dick in your mouth. It's hard to do a wee bird. Yeah. So I don't really like Richarlison at all. So Maddison is a good. See, if I didn't have Schmeichel and Soyuncu, I probably would have had Maddison by now. He's just a beast.
I think the question, I think you could compare most players with Maddison, and Maddison would usually come out on top anyway. I don't think it's necessarily. I think Richarlison's been great. Recently he's been very, very good. He's been almost talismanic at times for Everton. But
there's a new sheriff in town.
There's a new sheriff in town, indeed, yeah. And actually, regardless, I still just think Maddison's better. He's the cheaper KDB, isn't he? He's never going to be. Richarlison's more likely to score a hat trick of the two of them, but Maddison is going to score more points by the end of the season. I'm fairly sure of it.
Yeah, definitely. Nutella says, just listen to the FPL weekly pod. Top job, guys. So well done. I guess I haven't listened to it yet.
Not quite as good as who got the assist, according to Dave. But
it wasn't. It definitely wasn't. No. So I'm assuming that because people are saying it was a good one, that you fixed the audio.
So he hasn't even listened to his own pod yet.
But I was there live. Like I don't need to. I lived it.
We did. We managed to find a workaround. Holly's basically excluded from the first 9 minutes of the pod.
For people who weren't there, so everyone except me and you, Holly roboted like at the very start when we were recording, and it sounded fine after 2 seconds, but then as the podcast went on, apparently her audio just like continued on a robotic trend, and
it wasn't just like robotic though, was it? I think I said in the pod, like, it's not like it was like an Alexa where
she didn't sound nice. It wasn't like a sexy robot sound.
It wasn't like Siri. It was like it was hell bent on destroying us all.
Did you leave that in? Because I said that she sounded like she wanted to kill Sarah Connor, and I thought that was a belter.
Yeah, that was a great line, but we had to get rid of it.
Cut it. Oh, well,
right. We all. I know. I regretted that. If I had said it, we would have found a way to keep it
in. So tell Nino, thank you very much for the praise, my man. But he also says, "Are you not a tad worried that Maddison could be played more defensively now that Ndidi is out?" And I'm pretty sure Chowdhury's going to be playing there. So I'm not.
Yeah, he's not a defense. I don't think that Maddison has a defensive mode, does he? He's fairly.
He gets the ball. He looks up, and he finds Vardy.
He
finds Vardy and then just passes to Vardy. That's his role. He could potentially do that from centre midfield or centre defensive midfield, but no, I don't. I'm not worried about that. FPL Merch says, thanks for the last answer. You've nailed on Salah for me. But then my next question is whether to go Traore or Sidibe, based on the next few fixtures. Bear in mind, I am in catch-up mode this season. Join the fucking club. The best part about Traore for me is that, the best fixtures for him are this: Liverpool, Manchester United, Leicester games, Tottenham. All these ones where they're not going to be parking, those are like where he shines because he's just so fucking quick. I'm not 100% on the Newcastle game or the Southampton game simply because like that's not where he shines. So if you give me Traore game week 24, I'd be happy with that. Way more than Sidibe. Having said that though, like Everton have really, really good fixtures, and I would assume that they would be clean sheeting with their new manager fairly soon, alongside a couple of attacking returns because they're playing 5 at the back. So he's definitely wing back now. He just is. So that's pretty good. So I do like a good wing back. It's very tempting in FPL.
Especially for Everton, they've got a history of being very productive.
Dean Cross is more than a Pope, man. He's fucking amazing. He's fucking amazing.
We all remember Baines. I mean, we don't all remember
Mm.
Baines, but a lot of us will remember Baines.
Baines is still on this on the squad sheet, isn't he? He still plays. It's mental that we say we still remember Baines, but he's still fucking going. He's like 36 or something. He's like Milner in defence.
Obviously, his record-breaking season. I think he still has the. Oh no, Robertson broke it, but I think he held prior to Robertson the highest score in a single season for a defender.
Oh, did he?
Leighton Baines. He was on penalties, wasn't he? I think he scored
Yeah.
something like 8 goals in one season. Yeah, he was
It's mental.
a real beast.
I did an Everton save in Football Manager.
It is mental.
I played him for a long time. Like you just can't replace him. He's so hard. But they have found a way. Sidibe, however you say his name. Speaking of Pope, because I made that.
Yeah.
Really
Let's talk a little bit
joke.
about. Oh no, you go.
No, I want to hear what you want to say.
No, sorry. I'm still on the double game week. I was going to talk about Everton. West Ham. I just wanted to acknowledge West Ham.
Do we have to acknowledge West Ham? Right. Okay. Go for it. Take us through it.
Well, I feel like we should because well, I don't really have anything to take you through. Really, they are another double game week team, and they are, in all likelihood, going to be enjoying some kind of new manager bounce, albeit a very more like in the same way that an egg bounces, but still I feel as though maybe I don't know. You know what football's like.
I do know what football is
like. Weird stuff happens. I just feel like this is going to be one of those game weeks where like everyone's like, oh shit, we should have really looked at West Ham a bit more. The likes of Felipe Anderson and Sebastian Haller, could spring a surprise on us.
All right. What if I told you?
I mean, maybe not.
What if I told you that my fixture
I can see
tracker,
the fixtures.
My fixture tracker that I've been like, it's been my religion for this, has had West Ham at the bottom for the next 12 game weeks. 12, including. I mean, like that is a difficult double game week to say the least. Now you could probably get Fabianski at a push and be happy in the fact that he's going to get multiple save points over the next 12 game weeks, but I think even just 2 clean sheets from any other keeper and you've outscored him on that. So that's a really, really hard sell for me. The second thing to note is that I don't know if he's going to be playing, who he's going to be playing as like that kind of Ozil role or Madison role, that kind of talisman midfielder that's just going to be pulling all the strings. I don't know who that is for West Ham yet. Like that's it. That's all I've got. Like I honestly don't know. It could be Fornals because he's been playing well. It could be the Antonio if he's. Oh, is it Antonio? Which is he the one that's injured? I don't even know. That's my point. Like they have bad fixtures, so they need someone who is amazing and stand out for me to want to bring them in. It could be Felipe Anderson, but he's
Sebastian Haller.
I don't think you should bring Haller in. Although he is going to be better under Moyes, or he should be in on paper, like the cross king, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. I can't see that being a bad punt, but at the same time, like I think strikers are just off the table, right? Because you've got Calvert-Lewin, Ings, Mapai, cheaper than him, and then Vardy, etc.
It was silly. It was silly for me.
No, I'm not. It was silly. You're right. No, I wasn't trying to shame you. I'm just saying, like Haller would be. Haller is probably the best. Like right now, if I had to punt on a West Ham like attacker, it would probably be Haller just because of how limited the information we have is, and I know that he's gonna be the end product or try to be at least for corners, free kicks, and some through balls, but he's going to be holding up, I think, and I don't know who he's going to be holding up for, so that makes me wary. So I think you're right that he is probably the best shout, but the best shout of a fucking terrible bunch. Moving on to defense, or going back to defense rather, I wouldn't pick anyone because none of them get clean sheets or save points rather. So Fabianski is still the best, but I honestly think it's just an Admiral Akbar. David Moyes is just a big squid in disguise, unfortunately. If they had good fixtures, if Liverpool's fixtures and West Ham's were reversed, and they had them an incredible run and the stars were aligning for West Ham, I'd take a punt on Felipe Anderson or something, like, or Fornals or whoever, just to get the blood pumping a little bit. But fuck that, man. Liverpool, Leicester, Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Wolves, Tottenham, Chelsea in the next 10 game weeks after their double. It's just mental. I don't
I
like
mean,
it.
imagine playing Liverpool twice in 4 Premier League
I
games.
know.
That's not fair, is it?
And not only is that, but like it's 3 days after their Leicester game. So obviously they're going to be. Who would you target? See, if you were David Moyes, you're like, right, I would quite like at least, I don't know, let's say 2 points in that, maybe. Like, I would love 2 points. We draw on both those games, but we can't draw for both of them. We're probably going to lose to Liverpool. So let's put all our eggs in the Leicester basket and really try hard to get a win there. Maybe a shock win 2-1 or something, right? Let's just fucking go for it. It means that Liverpool are going to fucking thrash them. It's just going to be a slaughter because it's 3 days afterwards, and Liverpool just don't let up. We've seen it. A few people were saying in the last couple of game weeks, are we worried about Liverpool in their double game week with rotation? But they haven't rotated during the Christmas period. I don't think Salah was dropped once. And then there was Mane, and then there was Firmino. I think the minutes might have been a little bit managed, but they started every single game. So in that respect, like, they're going to be the players that are playing against this West Ham team that are already fucked because they've just been trying so hard against Leicester, who are probably still going to beat them anyway. So in conclusion, I mean, West Ham at the best of times, I don't think we could conceive of them. You know what I mean? Let's jump into the chat a little bit.
You've completely annihilated any flirtation with West Ham now.
I mean, you can go. You know what? See if Fabianski was 4.5 million, I might even be convinced. But he's like the same price as Schmeichel, or it was when I bought him. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that shit. West Ham are a trap, says it's raw. I agree. Baines and PNR, the streets will never forget. Solo Super, it says Richarlison versus Martial. Those are two shite players. That's a hard one. I'm going to move to you because you like...
Let me quickly acknowledge... Sorry, I need to say right now that my internet is having a nightmare at the moment. So if I just sit here in silence for an awkward amount of time, then that's why.
Okay, no worries. Have you got the stream up
Did
still?
you hear that? Okay.
Yeah, I heard that.
Good.
Have you got the stream
but
up
it's
still?
it's struggling.
You could close the stream now if you want.
It is.
Right, you close the stream. I'll chat to the chat, and then we can.
The thing is, I really like the chat.
I know the chat's awesome.
Can I just quickly acknowledge FPL? Wait, you go.
No. We're obviously, I'm saying something and then you're listening to it like 2 seconds later. So, right, go. I'm going to read Nino's thing.
Mean.
When I thought I had nailed down my transfers, people started talking about this Sarr chap as if he was the new Mane. How good is Sarr, do you think? I'm the same as James. I do love me a Sunday fixture player to look forward to. And also, I think it was FPL Merch asked about Sarr as well up there somewhere, and someone else did. So let's talk about Sarr. Oh, Lucas David said Sarr is better than Traore. Sarr, Watford? I've just totally I think it was Mark, FPL General, that said I've just completely been ignoring them all season, but now is the time we've got to kind of look at them. The manager bounced. There've been a few goals. Even Troy Deeney's back, etc.
Yeah, I mean it's been quite easy to ignore Watford, hasn't it? Because they're
fucking pish
part of the season. I think I do like the look of Sarr, obviously, but I have to ask myself this question: is Sarr going to continue this for the rest of the season? And for me, the answer is no. In any season, we always see phases of players doing really well. Last season, James Ward-Prowse had an incredible run for 5 or 6 games.
You fucking hate him too.
I feel like Sarr is. I'm not a huge fan of James Ward-Prowse. Yeah, I make no bones about that. I feel as though Sarr could be one of those players. Yes, he's been very, very good. Does he have the underlying stats to reinforce those performances? Not really. Does Watford as a team have the potential to continue this great bounce of form that they're on?
Yeah.
Not really. For me, if I was going to look at any Watford attacker, it would be De La Feu, someone who I started the season with, someone who, in my opinion, is a genuinely quality player who had a fantastic season last season.
Did he?
We know that he can perform to a top level. He had a very good season last season. He was a midfielder last season, which obviously did make a difference to his points total.
Yeah.
But for the second half of the season, Dave, he was in my team, and I loved having him. He was great. And I generally, as a unit, Watford looked much better last season, and Deulofeu is starting to come back into that role of being their talisman. And I think, stop laughing. This is Deulofeu. I'm not saying that I'm going to bring Deulofeu in.
No, I know. I'm
but
not
if you're
laughing
going to
at you.
ask me about Watford, that's the answer.
So it's Ross said Deulofeu as soon as we started talking about Watford. Liam said Deulofeu essential. I mean, like, I hate Deulofeu, and it's not because of anything he's done. It's just the
God, yeah, strong
it
word.
was such a deceptive season last season. Like, he scored some great goals against the two worst teams in the league, Huddersfield and Cardiff. He both scored a hat-trick against them, but he only scored like 8 goals in the entire season, and 6 of them were in 2 games against the 2 shittest teams. Like, he just didn't hack it last season. But because he was a midfielder, his points were kind of exacerbated a little bit, or exaggerated, sorry. And then and then at that kind of, and then that yeah, that's the word. And then his last 2 or 3 games, he looks really good. He's always passing the eye test, so it meant that people started paying attention to him towards the end of the season. So then when the start of the season came up, I had like this bout of like doing rate my teams over and over and over again, and every motherfucker had him in the team, and it was the most frustrating thing ever. He's shit. Like, he had a shit season. He had a shit season that was deceptively good, and then at the same time, he became a striker instead of a midfielder, and that takes like 20% of his points away. And on top of everything, the new season he started, the first 10 game weeks, he was literally second bottom of the fixture tracker. So Watford had the worst opening fixtures. And in the first 10 games, he had 1 goal. Nope. 1 assist. And that was it. And it was just
Mate,
hard.
You're preaching to the converted.
Yeah.
You are preaching to the converted here. I have no desire to bring in Deulofeu or any Watford player for that matter.
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth touching them. I think there are much better budget players that are performing much better, that are in better teams, and I would definitely continue to prioritise them, regardless of this new manager bounce. You know, I think it is a bounce, and obviously a bounce is, the nature of a bounce is that what comes up must go back down, and so I feel as though they will return to the mean at some point.
The one thing that I would note with Sarr is that he didn't really have much minutes at the start of the season, and then since he's been playing regularly, his first 90-minute game, as you can see on the screen, he scored against Southampton, got 7 points, and then he blanked against Leicester and Crystal Palace, which was a shame. Liverpool he blanked, but that was fine. Then Manchester United, he scored a goal and got an assist. Sheffield United, he blanked away, only played 45 minutes. And then Aston Villa, he scored a goal, got 7 points. And Wolves, he got an assist. Like, he is genuinely having a good bout of performances. So I can see why everyone would go for him. Yeah. However, he's more expensive than Grealish, I think, right? Is Grealish still 6'1" or 6? Like, he's the same, about the same price.
I think he did rise a bit over Christmas, but yeah, he's in the same range for sure.
Yeah, he's 6'4". Yeah. So he's expensive. He's very expensive Traore, I don't remember how much he is either. But like, it's like you're saying, there's so many other better options that are near the same price that it's hard to kind of even conceive of going for them. I wouldn't touch Deulofeu. We've already said that his forwards are out, but even if he was a midfielder, I would prefer Sarr because of his form's a little bit better. He's in the box a bit more, and he is actually doing damage as opposed to just looking good and doing loads of take-ons and then flicking the ball forward and then fucking it up, which is Deulofeu all over. I want to.
You hate Deulofeu.
You know what was amazing was watching the first 10 games and being like, "Yep, shit." I was right. Because it became like a meme in my stream, and then now every time he scores, I get tweets from all these fucking idiots like, he's different. You're not idiots. I take it back, but it's always like, oh, for God's sake. I hate when he scores now because people tweet me all the time. It's kind of funny. It makes me giggle, but yeah.
The thing is, Dave, is that you will have to. I think definitely, you know, we can probably both agree on the fact that there's no excuse, there's no reason to have any Watford midfielder
Oh
taking a
yeah,
valuable place in your midfield at the moment.
yeah.
But you are going to have to reconcile yourself at some point with the fact that De La Feu is a good player. Like
Oh, he's not bad.
he's a
Yeah,
good player.
yeah.
He used to play for Barcelona, which I'm
Did
not
he?
saying is the hallmark. I mean, Yerry Mina played for Barcelona too. But this is a player who many people think is far too good for Watford, and that actually does, all right, albeit not always, but does have moments and phases in the season where he will prove that and where he will be phenomenal. And I think, yeah, you'll be punished a few more times this season for slacking off De La Feu so vehemently.
That's okay.
But I think you're right totally in what you say, that he is not, especially for a forward, and bearing in mind how many great budget forwards we have this season, I don't think De La Feu has a place in anyone's team.
And finally, last but not least, is that Watford's fixtures are shite as well. So, Sar's fine, but there's better. Josh online says, "What are your
Is
thoughts
there a
on
pie
Grealish?"
going on in your house?
Yeah, I know. I need to close the door. It's because there's a few reasons, but I'll go close the door. Give me 2 seconds. You talk
There's a
about
gathering.
Grealish.
Grealish, yeah, great player. Grealish was the player who I most regret not bringing in over Christmas. I chose Pogba instead. I captained him for one of the weeks in which he played 45 minutes and didn't return. Kept him for a few more weeks, and of course he either didn't play or only played part of a game. All the while looking at Grealish and how fantastically he was doing, and lamenting my decisions. I think Grealish is, you know, I described Maddison earlier as the budget KDB. I would say Grealish is kind of the budget Maddison. He's a similar vein of player. He's gonna drip points into your team, I think, throughout the season now. We know he's got a goal in him as well. He could be on penalties, Dave.
Grealish.
Is Dave back?
Yeah, I'm
No, he's
back.
not.
I'm
I
back.
can't see the stream. Oh, okay, you are back. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he on penalties?
I don't know. I think he took a penalty because
He
someone
is on
went off.
penalties.
I think he took a penalty because someone went off. But I don't remember who it was. But I think he's second choice. He might even take one like now and again anyway. But yeah, no, he's up there.
In any case, he's one of those players that is basically central to everything that Villa do. You know, obviously Villa, they haven't been fantastic this season, but attacking wise, they've been fine. They've been as good as any other kind of bottom half team. So I think Grealish, I would say, is probably the best midfielder in that 6 to 7 range. I can't think of a better one at this point in time.
He's annoying. He's annoying to not own, isn't he? He's like Ings,
He's
kind of.
so annoying. He's Jimenez, he's Ings, he's all of those fucking players. It just somehow, yeah. And all the players I don't own and haven't owned at all this season.
Yeah, he's one of them. I didn't own Jimenez at all last season, like not even a little bit. I transferred him in once, and then Kane got injured, so I had to transfer him out again. Like there was a like it was the only one that I really got fucked with last season from bringing in someone like at the start of the week, because then Kane got injured on the Monday night, I think it was, and then you know the whole community went mental. But for Grealish, my problem is, like, for people who don't own him, I don't know if he's a bit like Ings, where, you know, everyone was saying the boat had sailed, right? The ship had sailed in regards to bringing him in. But Aston Villa don't have great fixtures. I'm going to refresh this just now so you guys can see, because that was from the start of the double game week. But here on your screen right now should be the next 6 game weeks for Aston Villa is Man City, Brighton, Watford, Bournemouth. So those 3 are good. And then Tottenham, Southampton. So, like, I could bring him in this week, but then he's got Man City, so I'm not going to be expecting much. Brighton away is not as easy as it makes it out to be. Watford are on a new bounce. The only one that I really like is Bournemouth, and then right after that they've got Tottenham, then Southampton away. So I mean, it's not the best, it's not the worst, but what do you think? Should we be bringing him in if we don't have him? I mean, there's more pressing matters, right?
I think that most people's transfers are going to be geared towards the double game week 24 now. So I think that obviously is going to have a say on the decisions that you make. You know, for me, my priorities is freeing up money to bring in Mane for a midfielder as yet to be decided. So I will probably be looking at The likes of Rashford, for example, is someone who maybe might be making away soon after the Norwich game. Grealish could be a great one to bring in if you are doing, for example, if you do have Sterling in your team like you do.
Yeah.
No, that's because you would just make the direct swap. But what I'm trying to say is that Grealish could be a good step down from someone if you do need to free up funds.
Yeah, if you've got two midfielders, so you've got like Ali and
Yeah.
De Bruyne, and you want Salah, and you've already made the decision to get rid of De Bruyne, then yeah, you could go down. I think you're absolutely right. He's a perfect fourth midfielder.
He's exactly. He's the best.
What it is.
He's the best.
He's 6.4 million just now. I think I could afford him, right? So I've got my team up now. My plan is to, because this is the part in the stream where I tell you guys what I'm doing. We've answered the questions. Let's look. Oh yeah, sorry.
This is the Dave RMT section.
Yeah. I got Andy to do my fucking team. It was great. I took his advice and it didn't work, so I'll never ask him again. No, I'm kidding. So
average.
I'm taking Abraham out because he's just like, Chelsea have got really bad fixtures coming up. I'm giving him the Burnley game. That's as best as I can do. I might return in game week 29, but by then I'm probably use my wild card, or rather, you and Holly and the general will have used my wild card.
We're gonna take over, yeah.
So I'm gonna get rid of Abraham, bring Calvert-Lewin in. That actually gives me a shit ton of cash, and that means that I can safely bring in Salah, and I've got like 1.7 million to spend because I always like a bit of cash in the bank. Which means I can safely upgrade Traore to Grealish if I want. So I could do that. But I really do like the fact that Traore has poor fixtures coming up. That's like when he's ripe. I really like that. So I don't know.
So are you because I'm interested in this, right? As a Traore owner. So I would like you to put your money where your mouth is here and bench Traore against the likes of Newcastle and Southampton and play him against Man City and Liverpool. If your theory is correct, then that would be the sensible thing to do, right?
I'm not saying that he would play badly against the bad teams. I just think he would play. His play style is much better suited to like higher up defensive lines. Could I bench him?
You'll definitely be playing against Liverpool and Man City, and maybe benching him against Newcastle and Southampton.
Well, the problem is my team, like the person who I would be replacing him with, if I was to bench him this week, would be Rico, who has been just absolutely shocking. Like Rico got me a -1 last week, and that's unforgivable. I don't think I could play him right after that. Let me have a look.
What you certainly won't be doing is benching Traore for Man City and Liverpool.
You know what? Okay, fine. I'll put Traore on the bench, right? Here we go. Right, save. Bam. Done. Are you happy?
Well, yeah, I don't really mind. You know, I just think it's interesting.
Money where my mouth is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Traore is my first bench, and I've brought on. I don't know if you can see the stream anymore. I think you might have closed it.
I did close it. Yeah.
Right, excellent. Right, don't open it again. That's it. He's benched. He's benched.
Somehow I'm suspicious.
I've put El Neni in.
Fucking El Neni.
Which means that Traore is going to auto sub in 100%. Right, let's go to the chat just a little bit. Guys, would you sell Pope for a hit to Foster, Fabianski, or Ryan? I'm thinking it should pay off long term, hopefully. Yeah, so keeper. Everyone's getting rid of Pope, right?
Never sell a keeper for a hit is one of my fundamental principles of FPL.
All right, you heard it here first, and everywhere else second. Pope for a hit to Foster. Nah, just wait a week and then do it. I don't.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that urgent.
Because you need the keeper you bring in, to get an immediate clean sheet, and that's so hard to predict. Exactly. Although of those three, Foster, Fabianski, or Ryan, it would be Ryan definitely. Because Fabianski's got shit fixtures despite having the two games, and Foster plays for Watford.
Henderson is the one.
Yeah, actually, it's weird that you didn't say Henderson. Henderson has the best fixtures. I think he's also the cheapest, I think he's 4.7. Everyone else is 4.8 and stuff, so that's good. The only problem is if you've got like Musset and Lundstrom, and that's your third one. So, I mean, it's a good third one, but it is something to note. Like, I haven't been able to bring Maddison in because I made the early decision to bring Schmeichel and Soyuncu into the team. I haven't really regretted it yet, but it might not pay off for you, and then you're fucked. And say Fleck starts going absolutely mental. Something to think about. Newcastle are in turmoil. Not really a question, just FPL merch getting the dig in against Newcastle. That's nice.
FPL merch says something earlier in the stream, which I would like to acknowledge that it could mean that I get something free.
Oh, what did he say?
Said that me drinking out of a tin is giving him PTSD. Can he send a glass? And the answer is yes, you can, FPL merch.
And if you want to know his address, just ask FPL Tips, who has got a copy.
I gave it out earlier. And I will, in return, do whatever you want as far as pro goes. I've been said anything free in my life. I will tattoo FPL merch across my tits.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Along with every other person's name that you've ever met. That's already there. I've seen your chest. Don't deny it. Nutella Nino has said, even if I own Dunk 2, should I get Ryan? And then that's an opposite. So no, I would definitely get Henderson if you've got Dunk. Like that takes Ryan off of it. I wouldn't double up on fucking Brighton. The reason why you can double up on Henderson and Lundstrom is because Lundstrom's playing midfield, whereas Dunk's just stuck in centre back.
I've definitely keep a lot of clean sheets, so they're great. Yeah.
Right, we could talk about captains in a second. I'll go back to that. The fixtures are gold. Ryan with Dunk in my game week 25 mood. Oh, the Storm Legacy coming up at us with the Ryan Dunk double up. He thinks it's good. I think their fixtures are really, really good. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I would prefer Henderson. Marcus Petter, when did Madison get flagged? Head injury. What did I miss? Oh yeah, so Brendan Rodgers came out and said that he got an injury in the last game week, and so he's not very happy. He's not a happy bunny right now, and we're probably not going to get any more information until the game week finishes. But if you've got him, hold him, because we don't know 100%. There's no point wasting a transfer. Liam gets Salah, blah, blah, blah. Thanks. Nutella, Nino, you're very welcome. Been very, very productive in the chat today, haven't you? As a new member of the sexy club. Headbang and stoppage time against Villa. Oh, they've answered the question. There you go, sorted. Liam not getting married, blah, 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 blah. With regard to the tattoo, FPL merch says deal, mate.
Yes.
I'm currently on the double with Schmeichel.
To get a free glass is putting on a tat. Fine.
You know the tat's going to cost you more money than just buying a mug.
No, FPL merch says he's going to cover that.
Oh, does he? Okay, awesome. I missed that.
Well, I don't know. I'm assuming so.
Liam's asked us a few times. I'm sorry I haven't answered it yet. Last question, unless James has any Twitter cues he wants to really get to. Dave, Ali, sell or keep? Want to get Salah, so need to downgrade Ali. Yeah, no, that you've answered your question, my man. I got rid of Ali 3 game weeks ago or something for Sterling. And that's paid off because Ali's done fuck all and Sterling's got 2 goals. So it worked well. I don't think there's any reason to keep Ali. Although traditionally Ali is the go-to guy if Kane gets injured, right? Like in the last couple of seasons, I can just hear Joe from Fantasy Football Scout in my head just being like, Ali's the one. Ali. That's him. That's all I got.
I can always hear Joe from FF Scout in my head.
But he does love Ali. He fucking loves him.
Yeah.
He's always got him in his Sky thing. And he's always came up too. Every time Kane gets injured, he always does score. So I don't know. If they had really good fixtures, I would probably maybe be tempted to keep him. But if it's a choice between him and a Liverpool midfielder, 1 billion % bring in a Liverpool player. I'm surprised FPL Sponge isn't in here. Yeah, Sponge loves us. Sponge is his number 1 fan these days, isn't he?
Sponge needs to mop up whenever he listens to us. You could say. Because
he's all
sponge joke there. Somewhere there's a sponge joke. We've had loads of questions from Colm.
I thought you were going to say sponge.
If you give us 4 very long questions. One is about Grealish, which we covered. One is about benching Soyuncu or Dunk. I guess that's for game week 22. He's currently on Dunk. He's not sure. One is about Liverpool options, which we kind of covered as well. The other is about triple captain. So he's asked about potentially using a Mane or Salah, but also pointing out the fact that Vardy could have a good double later on in the season as well. And he's also asked about Fabianski too. He really has. And West Ham in general. So that's 5 questions.
Right. So we've answered the Grealish one. I fucked up West Ham earlier. We've kind of talked about the other I think we talked about the Liverpool triple up, right?
Yeah, we
Oh
did.
yeah, Dunk. Dunk's playing Everton and Soyunchu's playing. Who are they playing? Southampton. So yeah, it's a no-brainer, right? Just paper whenever it's defense versus defense, like just paper it. Leicester have got better defense than Brighton, and
So,
Brighton are playing are a better team than Leicester. It's pretty easy, right?
I think that's it. I think we covered them. I think we've covered them.
What are we doing?
Fabianski.
Triple captain, right? What did we say? We said Mane if anyone because it's away,
Yeah,
and
I don't like it though.
you don't. I might do it. I need to do something. And also on top of that, like we don't know if Vardy is gonna have better. He might have a double week, but he might not have. Like, what if it's fucking Tottenham and someone, right? Like, what I don't. I mean, is there a I know, but you know what I mean. Like, if it's not gonna be as good as West Ham or Wolves.
I know what you mean. But Wolves are good, and West Ham. It's just this new manager for me. Like I just think it could be a bit of a banana skin there. The other thing, though, that you should bear in mind with me is, as someone's already pointed out, I do love a late captain in the same regard. And for the same reasons, I also love leaving my chips until late because it's always that sense of having that hope. And that's kind of what keeps me going for a season. So I would never play my triple captain this early for that reason anyway, even if it was Liverpool at home to Norwich and say, Southampton, I would still struggle. M. Bison 22, Mark, big listener of the Fantasy Weekly, says, who will be the 3 highest scoring Liverpool players in Double Game at 24? If you get this wrong, he says, I would expect hundreds of pounds in cash from you both. Oh no, £100. This is the extent of his imagination, you see. He could have said 1 million, even 1,000.
No, but I think he's tempting, right? What do we get if we win? Did he mention that?
No. It's just if we get it wrong, we're 100 quid out of pocket.
Is it each?
If we get it right, presumably we just get a pat on the back.
Is it each though? Do we pay 50 quid each or 100 quid each?
He says from both of you.
100 quid from both of us.
So £200 total.
Right. Okay. So £200. So we're betting on £200. What do you think the odds would be if we did this with the bookies? Probably about 30 to 1, 35 to 1.
Yeah,
so
I think
he would.
Quite hard
So he would owe us about 40 grand. Let's just ballpark it, right? Okay. Top 3. It's gonna be
4,000, not 40,000.
Yeah, 4,000. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna
say. Shush, he might have not heard that bit. He might just assume I'm correct. Right. So top 3 double game week Liverpool players. Mane.
Creative.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Original.
Firmino.
Oh, cheeky. Yeah, I like Firmino. I was going to say Firmino as well.
You? Awesome.
Yeah, I just think it's weird, isn't it? Double game weeks are weird. I think Van Dijk, Firmino, and Salah.
Yeah, just gonna right. Okay, cool.
That's
so
all
we've got. So we've both picked the only player that we've both picked is fucking Firmino. That's amazing.
And we don't own him. And this is the thing: is that am I going to bring any of those players in? Well, obviously Salah I've already got. Am I going to bring Van Dijk and Firmino? Of course I'm not. No. But weird things happen. I remember last season, I think Man City had something like 3 or 4 double game weeks, and I'm pretty sure Laporte was their top scorer in every single one. So it's those centre backs; they love a double game week, unless you're Shane Duffy.
That was weird because it was only 2 goals or some shit in the entire season, wasn't it? Fucking bastard. Right, let's do captains, okay? Storm Legacy says last game captain, which is why I'm going with Kevin De Bruyne. Watch him start on the bench.
Love that Storm Legacy. Yes, last game captain.
Have y'all covered the blank in game week 28? We haven't covered it, and we're not going to cover it this week, but we will keep our eyes peeled for what everyone else says and then pretend it's an original thought and give it to you in a different stream. I have Henderson. Is it worth getting Ryan in game week 23? Nah, it's not. Henderson is the man. Just leave him. P.S. I also have Lundstrom. Yeah, that's the double up of dreams solo super.
Yeah, Henderson got an assist the other day. I mean,
can you tell me without looking who the only other player as the goalkeeper that's got an assist this year?
This year? You mean 2020? As in the last 10 days?
No, sorry, this season. You absolute.
I'm such a facetious wanker. Was it Pope?
Nope, wasn't Pope.
Edison.
Ederson got an assist last season. I actually don't know the answer.
But there's so many people in. Oh wait, you don't know the answer. So
I don't know the answer.
it could have been Pope.
I think it's Ramsdale. Yeah, Marcus Petter says Ramsdale. Chauncey says Ramsdale versus Southampton. Yeah, I thought it was Ramsdale.
Get them on the stream. I mean, that's
I
not,
do
that's,
know that.
that's knowledge.
I
That is
do
knowledge.
know that. Thingy got Ederson got a clean sheet. I think it was game week 2 or something last season. Or not clean sheet. They had clean sheets between game week 1 and game week 6, except for game week 2. I think it was where Ederson got an assist. So he had 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and it looked like they were doing amazing defensively. But it was a wee assist. They actually conceded that game, which is funny. So yeah, good knowledge. Right, let's do captains. I've got the captaincies up on the screen in just a hot second. There we go. Bam. So we've got Friday fixtures: Sheffield United versus West Ham. Are you thinking of captaining Lundstram at all in any capacity?
No.
Are you bringing a West Ham player for that fixture?
No.
All right. If you were to bring in Fabianski, would you be captaining him?
Yes. If I was bringing him in, obvious captain. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, let's move on. Saturday fixtures. We've got Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Chelsea, Burnley. I'm not going to run through them all. The key ones are obviously Leicester, Southampton, Manchester United, Norwich. Spurs and Liverpool is difficult to call. I'm assuming that's going to be quite controversial to captain Amani or Salah.
It's tempting though, isn't it? Because you look at Mourinho. Well, you look at Tottenham under Mourinho, and they have conceded multiple goals in most of their games. So, I could see that being a game in which the floodgates are kind of opened a little bit, and but I obviously won't be captaining anyone in that game. But I'm just saying that it's maybe worth more thought than people are currently giving it.
Right. And also, they're Kaneless, right? So even Trent Alexander-Arnold might be a very fun captaincy option for that because of that.
Fun's one word, man.
I can't see any other ones. Everton, Brighton. I don't think I would captain anyone against Brighton. Really, that doesn't scream like a great. I captained Abraham against Brighton, I think it was, and he blanked the fucking.
Yeah, no, it's not. I think great. Brighton are good this season. Yeah.
Burnley have gone back to what they were last season, which is just dreadful in defense. So I mean, but Abraham and Chelsea in general haven't been looking so hot, so I wouldn't do that. Crystal Palace are home, so you're not going to be captaining Arsenal if you do have Aubameyang. Yeah, it's pretty much as Leicester versus Manchester United assets for the Saturday fixture at least.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that by far the most popular captain this week will be Jamie Vardy because so many people own him, of course. He's freshly back from quite a long break with the new baby. I mean, all the stars are aligning, really, aren't they? And of course, we remember what happened last time Leicester played Southampton. It was the 9-0 thrashing at St Mary's. So you've also got that to factor in as well.
That kind of puts me off.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man.
You know what I mean? Like, see if you've lost 9-0 against a team, you're going to make fucking damn sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, but you are. And obviously, the circumstances are completely different in that, Leicester will be at home, which should benefit them in theory.
And also Southampton had a red card, right? They
did. I think Southampton will be more, as you say, like more mindful of that result than anyone. So they will be keen to make sure it doesn't happen, but also because they're playing away, naturally they're not going to be quite as open as they would have been at home anyway. So there's also that. I don't think it's going to be a thrashing by any stretch, but obviously, Vardy is phenomenal. He's just done so well recently. We're all expecting this baby celebration.
Technically his baby celebration, it's the first game back after a baby, right? But technically that's not true because he did play against Aston Villa and he blanked.
He did. I mean, how do you feel about that midweek fixture? Because it's not something that many teams have had to deal with. And of course, Vardy, whilst he was fresh prior to that fixture, now there's only a 3-day gap between those games. Do you think that could affect him a little bit?
He's used now. That's what it is. It's like Shaughnessy says he looked poor on Wednesday against Villa's low block, though, which I'm assuming is how Southampton are generally known for defending. The midweek fixtures I don't really care about too much. Like I know that Leicester are 100% concentrating on on the league, and I also know that Vardy's going to be missing goals in the FA Cup and then going, oh well, it wasn't the league. You know what I mean? Like I think he's probably saving a little bit of it. There was a little bit of rotation. They didn't play their full team. The only thing that I'm worried about now with like in regards to that is that Maddison got injured, and Maddison is the playmaker, and if he's not there against Southampton, then what's Vardy playing with, right? I guess maybe
it would be interesting to look
Tielemans.
at. Yeah, it would be interesting to look at how many Maddison to Vardy assists there have been this season. I'm guessing quite a lot. But
I mean that would be I just
it's irrelevant really because Maddison often plays the pass before the pass. He's
yeah, that's
obviously
what I would
incredibly
look at.
important.
How many
Yeah.
build-ups have had Maddison
Yeah.
in it? That would
Oh
be
yeah, you would
probably all
imagine
of them, right?
every single one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, I think you're right. Which then leads us maybe to Man United, who, of course, most people are going to have either Martial or Rashford.
Mm-hmm.
I guess not many people have Pogba at the moment, but he's injured now anyway. So
Not even you.
not even I.
Did he make it to New Year? Did he make it? Tell the stream about
it was so. I did tell the stream about that when I was talking about Grealish. I mentioned the fact that I bought in Pogba. Yeah,
I didn't.
When I should have bought in Grealish.
No, I think it was your best. It was your best tweet or your most liked tweet by far in the last like I don't know 4 months or something since I've been keeping tabs on you. Like you were like. I'm drunk and it's Christmas and I'm bringing in Pogba and I'm fucking captaining him, and then I I looked at it and I was like, he's trying to get on this drunk fucking action. This is not on, and I made sure to just hound the shit out of you when he didn't even start.
I think that drunk James needs to take a leaf out of drunk Dave's.
Oh man, or just because it's drunk Dave like 50, drunk James -1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, but that's good stuff.
So I think that both of them are tempting, but we discussed this on the Fantasy Weekly pod, which came out this afternoon, and Mark, the resident Man United fan, was very, very stern in his appraisal of Man United players at the moment. He said that he wouldn't trust any of them for the captaincy armband.
He's never ever. So it's hard to.
I know,
he's very biased.
No, you're right. To be fair, and he does own Rashford, so obviously he's put enough faith in him to still have Rashford, and he's keeping Rashford for the Norwich game. Norwich obviously are probably the worst defensive team in the league. Certainly away from home, they're pretty bad, but. As Mark pointed out, they are on a kind of resurgence as far as their defensive duties goes. They have had a lot of injuries, particularly in the first half of the season, a lot of injuries that are now kind of recovering, and so their back line resembles their ideal back line again. So, and their ideal back line is still poor, but it's not the Norwich that we knew, say, in the first 10 game weeks.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, their form is going to waver, as does every team, but it was so high, it's going to be hard to get back to that, especially with the injuries that they got. That kind of just like took the wind out of their sails, and I don't think Manchester United's going to be the team to like rekindle that. I know they're back a little bit. I could see Pookie getting a wee goal or maybe Cantwell, but like it's not really going to be a big thing. However, I can absolutely. Like, if you told me that Manchester United blanked against Norwich, I'd be like, You know
exactly.
what I mean? Like, that's
I know what you mean. Yeah, cool. It wouldn't shock you, would it? And actually, Norwich have had a tenacity this season to upset the big teams, and they've done it. They gave Chelsea a great game. They beat Man City.
Yeah, I think they're kind of like West Ham. Like when West Ham plays the big teams, they absolutely try really hard, and they're like, no, we've got a rep. Like we've all seen Green Street. We got to make this fucking happen. And then when they play like Burnley, they get fucked 1-0.
There's a mentality in Norwich, and you feel it when you walk around. That's like, we shouldn't really be at Old Trafford.
You live
like,
there.
We're gonna fucking, it's like an FA Cup final for them.
And you watched.
We're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, exactly. And you watched him turn the Norwich Christmas lights on, didn't you?
Cantwell.
How was that?
Well, it's funny actually because he's a local lad. So I don't know how many people know this, but he's from a village near Norwich called Dereham, and he played for their team back in the day, and like he's a very born and bred. So of course the first question that they asked him was, have you been to a Christmas light switch on? And he's like, every year, he loves it. So it was quite nice it's nice to see him there.
Be nice for his family.
I was looking for any limps or hobbles, but he didn't seem to show any. He was
throw a rock.
Yeah, he nailed it. He pressed the button as he was supposed to do, with the finesse that we've become accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
And bless him. The fireworks went off, and I think all had a good time.
Did he score after that? I'd be very interested to see if that lifted his spirits enough that he came.
There was a correlation
swinging.
between form and the Christmas.
That was his baby. That was his birth.
It was a shame actually because it was during that phase where he was being rested. He was only playing 45 minutes, and he wasn't.
Okay, that's why
he fallen out of favour. So it was during that time. So
I think it was because the team were like, "Fuck off! You're not playing if you're doing the lights. You can't have both."
It's gonna go to his head.
Right. Okay. Hey Ben, nice for you to drop in. I appreciate that. Tammy 8-11, Vardy 8-13, Rashford 4-5, Salah 10-11. That's some good shit. Oh yeah, KDB. So Norwich is the let's say the shittest defense in the league right now, but not far behind is Aston Villa, and we move to the Sunday fixture, right? Aston Villa has had the most shots conceded in the box and outside the box in the last 6 games, according to Holly. I think that's still true as we speak, although I haven't double checked that, so maybe someone could. But Aston Villa are certainly pretty shit and have conceded in almost every game they've played. And they're playing the big boys, Man City. I can't really see past this as a captaincy option. For me personally, it's very difficult to move away from Aston Villa. I failed to captain Ings. I should have done it against Aston Villa. I'm not missing that chance again.
Aston Villa at home, though, does that put you off a little bit? We think of these big occasions, Man City coming back to Villa. It's a big deal for them, a newly promoted team, feeling like this is where they belong in the Premier League. They're hosting the champions. Do you not feel like maybe they're going to be so up for it that they could frustrate? Given what they've just done to Leicester as well with that, they do know how to frustrate.
This would be a bigger deal. I think I would maybe consider it a bit more had their goalkeeper not just been horribly injured.
Yeah. Heaton's been so good for them.
Heaton's been the reason why they are not like the bottom team. Are they the bottom team? Is it Norwich now?
Norwich is still the bottom team, yeah.
I mean, Watford was there for a while.
Watford were, but Norwich have been there for the last, I think, 4 or 5 weeks now. They are, they're quite clear at the bottom as well now, I think.
Yeah. So I think, like, despite Aston Villa being good, like, I could see Man City demolished Man United, and it was like Bernardo Silva up front. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could just see them. It doesn't matter what they do. Aston Villa could be the best form of their life. I think nothing's going to happen. Man City are at this point where, like, okay, Norwich fucked us about and we've been in poor form. I think they're going to start to turn it around now. Like, what goes down must come up, in the same vein as your great quip earlier on. Like, I really like Man City. I can't see past them. Liverpool aren't doing well. Madison not doing well. They've not got a great fixture. Leicester have got Madison potentially injured. Vardy just played 90 minutes. That is the only thing that I don't like about the Man City, is that KDB played 75 minutes and Sterling played every minute, and he was benched the game week before. So I guess just make sure your vice captain is on if you're going to be doing any of them. But I'm going to ask the chat just now. I've got Liverpool, Leicester, Manchester United, and Man City. I want to know who you're captaining. So just 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat real quick. I want to know what you guys are doing.
I would just, whilst they're making their decisions, I would also add the most compelling reason, which we haven't mentioned yet, is that, of course, Man City are the last of these teams to play.
You really, really, really care about that, don't you?
I care so much. In fact, I would say that it's probably been responsible for about 30% of my captaincy decisions this season, because so often I'm caught between 2 players. This week it is between KDB and Vardy. Let me tell you this: if Vardy was playing at 4:30 on a Sunday, Vardy would probably be my captain this week. As it is, KDB is going to get it because he's playing later. And so if it's a 50-50 decision, You just go with the one that's going to give you the most joy over the weekend, and that for me will be the one that plays latest.
So you really play without logic, huh? That's good.
I
It's good to
am
know.
totally, yeah. I mean, yeah. How do you think I finished in the top 5K last season, Dave? It wasn't because of logic or skill or anything like that. It was all based on superstition and nonsense.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's gonna work once in 6 seasons, isn't
Exactly.
it?
Now I'm back to the norm.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. We've got loads of twos. I think two's winning, right? Vardy's winning, but not. I mean, it's not all of them. I think five twos, a few fours.
Any fives in there? Just to
I mean,
mix
There
things
wasn't
up.
five wasn't a thing, but someone did say Marcus said Jimenez, like, and Lucas
Yeah.
said not good with numbers, but Rashford or De Bruyne. Yeah, and I mean, I think it's very clear, right? Like, it's gonna be Vardy and thingy. But last time you were on the stream and last time we chatted about it, it was like, right, we've got to do it for Son. Son's definitely gonna be the captain. We've got to captain Son. Blah 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 blah. And look what fucking happened. He got a red card. So
Red
who are
cards,
you
yeah.
captaining so I can pick the other guy?
Who am I captaining?
Yeah, please, because last time you fucked me.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Right. Also, I'm gonna go Sterling. I think just because Mendy's been playing more. And that suits him. Does it really? It kind of does. I did double check it. His heat map has moved a little bit. On top of that, if Aguero's out and like I don't know who's going to be playing there. And I think when Aguero leaves, Sterling has more of like an incentive to kind of perform a little bit better. And he has.
It's such a big differential, that though, Dave. Are you sure?
Yeah, I think I need to start messing about with it a little bit. I'm not 100%, although it kind of breaks everything that I've ever mentioned this season, like always captain Kevin De Bruyne, if you're going to go for a City player, blah, 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 blah. But if you've noticed, my season has not been doing very well, so I might as well, I don't know, it's going to go to the wire, it definitely is. And I'm off tomorrow, so it's going to be like, I'm going to be thinking about it all day. Regardless of who it is, I think they're all going to do well, and it's not a huge deal. I probably will switch to KDB just because Sterling played all 90 minutes, and that's something I'm scared of, because Sterling should be nailed in every team sheet because he's one of their best players, but he just isn't, and that's fucking rough, man. It's really rough, and I can't wait to get rid of him for Salah. But he's just the 2 week punt that everyone's making on City. I've already made. Like, I brought Sterling in for Ali back in the day to save us a nice warm seat for Salah. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think that's it. We're an hour and a half in. That's the 90 minutes of chat of good FPL chat.
90 minutes.
90 minutes, yeah. It doesn't seem like that, though.
We're
It
into
kind of
VAR
flies by.
right now. Extra time.
Have you got any last
Kevin
questions?
Friend is glancing at his watch.
Yeah, we need a ref. We need someone. We need a Pilkington to just kind of sit over there and be like, who is it Planet FPL? I met him when we were up, and he was a really, really nice guy. I forget what they call. What's his name? Do you remember Planet FPL? They have like the guy who does all their editing and stuff, and he just sits there. And do you know what I'm talking about? Someone will know in the chat.
Yeah. God, what's
I don't remember.
I hope
he's not watching.
Oh God, it's so annoying.
Check the Sexy Stream League. Oh yeah, we should do that. We'll do that. Sexy Stream League. Just while you're thinking about it.
What's his name?
I don't know. Oh, I wonder why Colm wants us to check the stream.
It's a really ridiculous name. It's like a really bad
Moonchild.
nickname.
The Storm Legacy knew it. Moonchild. That's
yes.
the one. And Ben FPL said
No,
Manchild.
not Moonchild.
Is it Manchild?
Manchild. Yeah, Manchild. It's not Moonchild.
We got it.
That sounds whimsical and
Moonchild sounds like he's in a song. Yeah. No, Manchild.
Yeah, Moonchild sounds. Yeah.
He should change his name. No, Manchild. Yeah.
Moonchild sounds like a Billie Eilish.
Manchild is so nice. He's such a nice guy. I remember I was making out. We went up to the bar and all that, and we had a good time and stuff. And I was playing the bit like I was the biggest person there. Like that was my thing. I was just messing about, but genuinely, some people thought
that's
that I
what
was.
You believed.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I can have a laugh and stuff. I could keep the bit going if you want, but like, I genuinely kept going like, all right, come on, make a line and all that shit, right? I was doing that, and then after a while, I got too drunk and I was like, I'm only fucking about. Like, and a lot of people were taking me seriously, which was a shame because it's hard to, like, if you don't know who I am, you don't know that I'm just taking the piss all the time. Except for Manchild, who was just laughing, going, "Yeah, no one knows me either, mate." And then that was it. And then I didn't speak to him for like another 2 hours, and then came back and actually got to know him. But he saw right through me. He was like, "Ha ha, yeah, no one knows me either." And it was like, yes, we clicked right there. It was like our only little thing. So me and Manchild, like this, mate, like this. Just couldn't remember his name. Sorry, Manchild. It's a fucking ridiculous name, though. It's a ridiculous name.
Obviously, wasn't that touching.
So I've got. Shall we announce it? Shall we just announce it? I don't know. We hadn't spoke about it. I thought I'd say it on stream live.
Where?
You're gonna be like, what?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but yeah, go for it.
We are having a baby. No, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so me and we have a great time on these streams. We love chatting and all that stuff. Now we're just gonna make it like a continuous thing.
Yeah,
that we're gonna just do this from now.
Yeah.
If you've listened to FP or Fantasy Weekly, you know that James has moved on from his old job to his new job, and although Fantasy Weekly is a little bit up in the air and what's gonna happen there, it frees up James's time, and it means that we could now just do like streams all the time. So James is gonna Lucas Davis said, are you both coming out? Kinda, yeah. We're together now. So James is gonna join
My
us.
headphone came out, I enjoyed that joke.
James is gonna join us every single Thursday, and we're just gonna have a good laugh and see how far it goes, and eventually maybe try and like record it for non-streaming purposes and all that good stuff. But we'll get to that later on. But yeah, no.
Well, I should let you know, Dave. I should let you know that I'm on holiday for the next 2 weeks.
You're what, on holiday? Are you? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think you said.
But I might be able to do it remotely. So definitely don't rule me out. But I'm just saying that
yeah, take your laptop.
This lovely background that everyone's, I'm sure, enjoying will not be. I mean, I'm in London next week, and I'm in Belgium the week after. So yeah, maybe I can stream from a Belgian pub.
And maybe your bedtime will be like after 10 o'clock when you're on holiday. That would be good. Yeah, so we're gonna do it. So you've got like the twat going on. We've got Fantasy Weekly that's gonna be continuing, and then we've got this stream. So there's loads of stuff. It's gonna be good. Calm says test or twat. I don't know. Yeah, twat. The twat. You know his whole.
Yeah, something. Calm actually asked whether he actually asked whether the twat is continuing. Yes, it is. I will do it tomorrow, but it's in the works.
I love the twat because there's no real deadline. As long as you do it before the next game week, you could do it whenever, right? Whenever you've got a spare minute.
Yeah, it's always nice to get it out sooner rather than later. But yeah,
that's what she said. All right, and Ben said great news, loves the twat, and blah 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 blah. Everyone happy for us. I don't know. Fat Man Scoop gave the name Manchild when he was doing it. No one said anything bad about it yet, so that's good. So yeah, so James is going to be here for the foreseeable future.
That's very charitable.
So all your follows, half of your follows are going to go towards James from now on. So just keep checking the mail, mate, for those follows. That's good. Maybe a good time to say that this is any what?
Sorry, I think our things are out of sync again because if we're going to continue this, I need to get better broadband. I think that's clear.
Yeah, I'll help you with that.
What I was going to say is that any contributions to the upkeep will now be split between Dave and myself.
I'll bill you.
And that includes, Dave, I want half of the mug that was sent to you
Just smash it and send you half of it.
I would like the top half.
Right, you can have don't FPL,
I'll give you the box.
And I'll have and drink, which is a great sentiment for me, I think.
Shaped top half.
Fantasy, good night. Oh, thanks very much for tuning in. Liam says the dynamic duo, and that's what we can name ourselves from now on, the dynamic duo. And on the screen, if you can see your name, give us a wave. Colm is the top of the stream league, comfortably on 717 points since game week 11, whereas Cathal Duggan is on 715 in second place. So well done, you guys. James is the intern, non-paid. he's the assistant to the regional manager.
Work experience. All I do is make Dave tea.
Yeah, I would love that shit. Just you here making bourbon, come sit through.
Yeah,
No, but we'll have Mark on one day, and
I bet
I'll
you
invite.
would.
We'll have Mark on because he's the closest that I know, and we'll have him. And he can come and sit beside us, and we can do like a wee live thing. So I could touch
You'll
him
need
while
to
we
pay
chat.
him.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll need to pay him.
pay Mark.
We'll need to pay him.
Yeah, oh shit! Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, thanks very much, guys, for joining us. And we'll see you Monday. Hopefully, you guys have a great game week. It's great to have James here. Thank you so much for coming, my man. And we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. Cheers.
Thank you, viewers, for not muting.
Yeah. Exactly. Bye. Bye. Cheers, guys. Bye. 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 Go on. Say your line.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to. Oh, can I talk yet?